It's April the 10th and we're back again with sports news this Wednesday evening. I'm Arnold Thomas. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll take you through all the happenings in the world of sports nationally and internationally. But first up, let's track the headlines we are tracking this Wednesday evening. Virat Kohli named Wisden's leading cricketer of the year for the third time in a row, and Smriti Mandhana wins the Women's Award, while Mumbai eye a third straight win in IPL Season 12. In the outing against Punjab, Rohit Sharma trails with 3 wins, while Ashwin led Punjab enjoy 4 wins and third position in the points table. Chennai maintained their unbeaten run at home in the Indian Premier League with an emphatic 7-wicket win over Kolkata. The win helps the Dhoni-led team lead the standings with 5 wins and 10 points after 6 games. Saina, Nehwal and Sindhu eased into the second round of Singapore Open badminton tournament. In men's singles, Sai Parneet goes down fighting to world number 1 Kento Momota. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool take a crucial first leg advantage with a 2-0 win in the Champions League quarter-final clash against Porto. Son Heung-min shines to give Tottenham Hotspur a slender first leg 1-0 lead over Manchester City. And Manchester United welcome Barcelona for the first leg of the UEFA Champions League quarter-final tie at Old Trafford. Cristiano Ronaldo included in Juventus Champions League squad to face Dutch club Ajax. Well, those are the top stories that we're going to track for you over the next 30 minutes. But first up, let's now take a look at the stories in detail. Indian captain Virat Kohli has been named the leading cricketer of the world for the third time in a row in this edition of Wisden's Cricketer Almanac. Indian captain Virat Kohli was named the leading cricketer in the world for the third time in the edition of the Wisden's Cricketers Almanac. Kohli, however, was the sport's most dominating figure in 2018, making 2,735 international runs at an average of 68.37 across all formats, more than 700 than his nearest challenger, England's Joe Root. In that time, he scored a remarkable 7 centuries in 37 innings, 7 of which came on India's tours to South Africa, England and Australia, traditionally 3 of the toughest venues for overseas batsmen. Kohli's fellow Indian, Smriti Mandhana, is the leading cricketer in the women's game after racking up 1,291 runs across limited overs formats, including 13 half centuries, while Rashid Khan, the Afghanistan leg spinner, is the leading 2020 cricketer of the year for the second time in a row. On to IPL, Mumbai will host Punjab at the Wankhede Stadium tonight. Punjab come into the game with 3 consecutive wins in their home ground, while Mumbai defeated Hyderabad in their previous encounter. Mumbai's pacer Joseph Alzeri took 6 for 12, the best bowling figure in IPL history. While Punjab are placed at the 3rd spot in the IPL points table in 2019 with 4 wins from 6 games, Mumbai, meanwhile, are struggling in the 5th position with 3 wins from 5 games. Punjab and Mumbai have always shared a fierce rivalry since the inception of Indian Premier League in 2008. In all, the two sides have faced each other on 23 occasions before. Mumbai have the edge, having won 12 of these contests, while Punjab have been on the winning side 11 times. A clinical Chennai, meanwhile, maintained their unbeaten run at home with a 7-wicket thrashing of Kolkata in the Indian Premier League match on Tuesday night. Chennai restricted Kolkata to 108 for 9 in 20 overs, with Deepak Chahar picking up 3 wickets and spinners Harbhajan Singh and Imran Tahir picking up 2 wickets. Andre Russell was once again the top scorer for Kolkata with an unbeaten 44-ball 50. Chennai took their time and finished the chase in 17.2 overs, with Faf du Plessis leading the way with a 45-ball 43. Chennai are back on the top of the points table with 5 victories from 6 games and with 10 points. Chennai are the first to cross that double-digit point margin with 10 points now in their kitty after 6 games with 5 wins and a loss to Mumbai. Star Indian shuttler Sindhu sailed into the second round of the Singapore Open with a straight set game win over Lani Alexandra Mankay of Indonesia on Wednesday. Sindhu seeded fourth, took just 27 minutes to get the better of her Indonesian rival, 21-9, 21-7 in a one-sided women's singles match. The Rio Olympic silver medalist will next play Mia Blinkfeldt of Denmark in the second round. Six-seeded Saina Nehwal opened a campaign in the women's singles with an easy win over Yulia Osipin Susanto of Indonesia. Saina won the outing in straight games 21-16, 21-11. On to football, Liverpool have taken a big step towards the semi-finals of the Champions League with a 2-0 home win over Porto FC. First half goals from Naby Keita and Roberto Firmino gave Liverpool a solid advantage in that quarter-final first leg, and Jurgen Klopp's side will feel confident going into that next week's return leg away. Beaten finalists in 2018, five-time champions Liverpool were immediately on top against the two-time Portuguese winners Porto. They needed only 5 minutes at Anfield before Keita opened the scoring from the edge of the box. A second goal followed in the 26th minute when Firmino slotted home. The Liverpool then played a cautious game, playing out that second half with no more goals to their credit, but Liverpool sailing home comfortably with a 2-0 win in that first leg of the quarterfinals. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp said his side is 100% deserved their 2-0 win over Porto, which gives them the upper hand in their Champions League quarter-final clash. Goals from Naby and Roberto Firmino earned Liverpool the 2-0 win, but there remains plenty of work to do for the English club, who are leaders, who will be disappointed they were unable to gain a bigger advantage for this next week's second leg.
We deserved the win 100%. We scored two wonderful goals. Were in a lot of situations really dangerous, I would say, right on the right side, especially with Mo and Hendo and Trent coming there with the crosses, with the passes. So overall, really good performance. Couple of, they had a bit too many set pieces because they're really good in that, and then you don't want to give them away, but that's how it is. They go for it as well, and then but we defended them well.
Well, you know, it's an interesting game there now. You know, 2-0 advantage is crucial for an English club. They are travelling to Portugal now for that second leg. And to get a perspective on, you know, where did Liverpool get it right, or where did Porto lose the plot? Remember, two early goals came in for Liverpool, but then Liverpool just let that second half go, you know, I would say waste, because they just, you know, sat back and defended after that, and they let, you know, they failed to convert, you know, a 2-0 advantage into a 3-0 or maybe a 4-0 advantage, because that could have been crucial for the English club who are looking for also the English Premier League crown. Well, to get a perspective there on that big game, you know, on the Champions League, we've got Narayan Singh joining us this evening in the studios. A pleasure having Narayan here in the studios as always. But Narayan, how should one look at this win for Liverpool? 2-goal cushion at home. Will that be enough for the second leg?
Definitely, we can say if you score the 2 goals in the first leg of a Champions League at a stage like quarterfinal, definitely it will give a boost to their campaign, as the Liverpools are fighting in two fronts, and in Champions League as well as in a domestic front in the English Premier League. A 2-goal cushion for a team like Liverpool, it's a good advantage for their second leg, and against a team like Porto, and we can say that definitely Liverpool is a team who can easily overcome Porto hurdle in the second leg also, but Portuguese also, who are at the second place in their domestic league in the Portuguese, can do any sort of setback for the Liverpool side. But current prospective, Liverpool is a world-class side, and it looks like that in the current situation they can easily overcome Porto.
Okay, you know, Narayan, when you purely look at the two teams, were you surprised with the Klopp strategy? He brings about different strategies at different levels. 2 early goals, and then they play safe in the second half. You know, maybe a 3-goal cushion, a 4-goal cushion at home, you know, would have sealed this deal. But a 2-goal cushion, you know, we've seen it in the last season itself. A 2-goal cushion, teams travels to the, you know, to play an away game, and then they lose the plot. Is that enough? Is what I'm trying to get with, you know, Liverpool there. A 2-goal cushion, is that enough when you travel to Portugal?
Last time when they met in the pre-quarter final stage of the Champions League, Liverpool thrashed Porto 4-0, and but this time, as you are saying, that's why a 2-goal cushion will be enough or not for Liverpool. But a team like Liverpool currently, who are dominating the Europe right now, last year they played the Champions League final against Real Madrid, which is a big achievement for Liverpool. And the club, the way they are playing in the English Premier League also, we can say that easily Klopp can defend that and his team. Their defensive setup is very good. They have the defender like Van Dijk and Milner, and a good midfield setup is there. Therefore, by looking the squad, by looking the roster of the Liverpool, it is looking like that they can easily, and they have just parked the bus in Porto Stadium, and they can easily manage a 2-goal lead.
Okay, since you mentioned park the bus, I'm reminded of the next game. Pep Guardiola had this strategy, or Jose Mourinho, specialized this park the bus kind of a strategy. Let's take a look at that next game today. You stay with us, but we'll come back to you, after we take a look at the next story on, what happened to Tottenham, the outing between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester City. Tottenham Hotspur, the Spurs have shocked Manchester City 1-0 in the Champions League quarter-final first leg, but lost their star player Harry Kane to a potentially season-ending injury. Song scored in the 78th minute, 20 minutes after Kane hobbled off with a left ankle injury. That could, be a big dent in Hotspur's hopes this season. Song also scored in Tottenham's first game at its new stadium last week, and he now has 18 goals in the season. City are trying to avoid a third consecutive last 8 exit and will rue Sergio Aguero's early penalty miss. Tottenham handed quadruple chasing City its first loss in any competition since January this year. City reached the last 8 last season but was knocked out by Liverpool. Tottenham Hotspur's elation at beating Manchester City 1-0 in the Champions League quarter-final first leg on Tuesday was somewhat overshadowed by the prospect of a potential season-ending injury for striker Harry Kane. Spurs manager Mauricio Pochettino felt City are still the favourites to win the title, while he accepted that Kane's injury is not looking good and he may be out for the rest of the season.
If you see the action, it's an action that maybe is, when he twists his ankle, can maybe damage the ligament again. We need to check in the next few days. It's so painful, but what we can do now? It's impossible now to look forward and try that it's not a big issue and try to recover it as soon as possible, but it doesn't look good. Still a lot of work to do. Still for me, Manchester City is the favourite to win the Champions League, and of course it's going to be tough. And it's going to be a complete different, in 1 week, a complete different game. But the satisfaction to win the first legs give us the belief, and of course that we are going to be there and to fight a lot. But I think it's a good result for us.
Well, the manager, they're very cautious in his approach. He says we've got a 1-0 win, but the job is not done. We've got 90 minutes of action left and Manchester City is still the favourites. A coach admitting that clearly is a big compliment for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. Manchester City, meanwhile, have lost only once in their past 23 matches in all competitions. A run that had seen them lift the League Cup, reach the FA Cup final and trade the top spot in the English Premier League with Liverpool in a thrilling title race. The quadruple remains possible, but City will have to keep alive their European hopes the hard way. City coach Pep Guardiola remained unruffled despite the side's surprise defeat.
We played an incredible game. The Champions League game, so serious. We concede absolutely few. We create chances, more than the penalty arrived there, and we controlled the game. We didn't let them run a lot, so we know the results. Okay, it's not the best one, but notice there was one. And in this competition, you want to go through in the last stages. You have to make this kind of games or this kind of comebacks to try to go through. If don't, we are not able. But I don't have the feeling to play bad when you see the control we had in the first half, and especially the second one, how good we played.
Let's get Narayan back here. Narayan, did this 1-0 win or a 1-0 Spurs win, You know, that's the big surprise. Catch you by surprise as it is an all-English derby.
If you look at Man City squad on paper, definitely it's a world-class team. A team which has they have assembled the world-class players from the different countries. In that way, we can say that it's looking like a surprise that Tottenham beating Man City in the Champions League. But if you look a record at the Man City's Champions League record, it's not quite good and not flowery. And in the recent time, we can say that the Tottenham Hotspur is on a roll. The way they played, it's their new stadium, which is built by a cost of $1.3 billion. And it was their second match and a second win at the stadium. And the way they played, definitely we can say that they are in a contention for the next round in the Champions League. And the way Guardiola did some mistakes, he bought Kevin De Bruyne after 89 minutes and Leroy Sané after 89 minutes. The few mistakes he did, and if he have played these players in this match, definitely the result could be a different result.
Okay, now we leave that for another day where, you look at the results and you feel that, if you could have brought about these changes. But do you seriously think that City having that firepower, do they have that firepower to turn it around in that second leg at home?
Definitely at Etihad they are unbeaten in their last 12 matches, and it's a very difficult for any team to beat other team like City at their den. And we can say that they have the world-class player. If Guardiola sticks to his best playing 11, it's very difficult to beat a team like City, and especially in their home condition. But the way the Tottenham Hotspur playing right now, and the coach, that their Argentinian coach Pochettino is there, he's very cunning, he's known for his tricks. If the way they go, and they can hold Man City at their own den, and they need to go for a goalless draw to enter the next round of the match. But the absence of their star player Harry Kane, they have to overcome that, because Harry Kane is a world-class striker and he regularly scores for the City for the Hotspur, and they will miss him in the next match.
Okay, we'll leave that, whether he'll be seriously missed in this big game, but a crucial game. And Mauricio Pochettino very clearly admitting that the game is not over. A 1-0 lead, but Man City surely the hot favourites to progress into the next round. But those were matches gone by. Let's now take a look at what's in store tonight. Two big games. For the first one, Barcelona versus Manchester United. Manchester United is hosting them. Two of football's biggest clubs collide on Wednesday night when Manchester United host Barcelona at Old Trafford for the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final. United produced a memorable comeback against Paris Saint-Germain to reach the last 8 against all odds, whereas five-time champions Barcelona eased past Lyon in the previous round. It was at Barcelona Stadium that Ole-Gunnar Solskjaer enjoyed his finest moment as a Manchester United player, scoring a last-gasp winner to seal the Champions League title for his side 20 years ago. Manchester United are hopeful that Marcus Rashford will be fit to play the game tonight. Rashford missed United's previous league game, a 1-2 defeat to Wolves last week. The five-time champions have fallen at this quarter-final stage in each of the past 3 seasons since last lifting the trophy in 2015. The Spanish Giants have lost their last 3 away quarter-final legs without scoring a single goal, but they have already won in England this season courtesy of their 4-2 triumph over Tottenham Hotspur in the group stage. Captain and forward Lionel Messi has scored 43 goals in 40 games this season, including 13 in the past 9 appearances and 8 in this season's Champions League. This will be the 12th meeting between these two sides, and Barcelona narrowly edged the head-to-head record with 4 wins to United's 3. Narayan still with us. Narayan, how do you look at this game? How does United approach this game at home against Barcelona? Do they go defensive, or do they make that home advantage count, as they have never lost to Barcelona at home?
Definitely they will go for attack, because if they will not score here, it will be difficult for them to score at the Camp Nou, because currently the English team is not at their best. And last time also when they met in 2011 final of the Champions League, the team was the Man U team was just dismantled by the Barcelona outfit, and before that in 2009 final also they lost to Barcelona. But at Old Trafford they are unbeaten against the Spanish outfit. So a home advantage is there, but they will go for attacking game because scoring at Old Trafford is very important for them, and the fitness of their star striker Rashford is very important. If he plays today, definitely it will be a plus for Man U, and we can say that a lot will depend upon their midfielder Paul Pogba, how he floats the ball in the middle.
Okay, coming back to Barcelona. Barcelona are in the last state for a record 12th successive season. That speaks volumes, and 17th overall. Does that give them an edge in this encounter? They're playing away, but does that give them an advantage because they have never won at Old Trafford? So is that, will they be able to, I would say, go against the tide?
Definitely they have this stage of the tournament in the record time. They are always a tournament favorite, Barcelona, right from the days they won the 3 Champions League under their previous coach Pep Guardiola. It's an advantage for them because they are more experienced in the right now, and because the Manchester United side is way behind their glory days, and currently the Barcelona outfit is still a team to beat in any competition, and they are about to win the La Liga title at the domestic front. It's definitely a difficult job for Man U to hold Barcelona here at Old Trafford, but the home conditions favors them because, as you have said, they have not lost a match against Barcelona at Old Trafford. But the Man U side currently, the way their resurgence took place under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they can beat the Barcelona outfit.
Oh, it's going to be, one of those nights where you're going to stay awake because 2 beautiful encounters. The first one we've discussed, Manchester United playing host to Barcelona. The second one, that's even more interesting, a Dutch club there in the Champions League quarterfinal after a long time, and you've got Cristiano Ronaldo and Juventus there visiting the Dutch club Ajax. Well, 2 of Europe's most, I would say, football's most illustrious names face off at the Johan Cruyff Arena tonight as Ajax play host to Juventus as they battle it out in that first leg of the Champions League quarter-final tie. Ajax are competing at this stage of the competition for the first time in 16 years, whereas favourites Juventus are into the quarter-finals for the 3rd straight year running. This is shaping up to be a memorable campaign for Ajax as they are still on course for an unlikely treble with less than 2 months of the season to go. According to Juventus manager Massimiliano Allegri, Cristiano Ronaldo will start Juventus Champions League quarter-final tie. Ronaldo has been nursing a thigh strain and has not played for Juventus since he scored a hat-trick against Atletico Madrid in the last round on 12th of March. Giorgio Chiellini misses out with a calf strain, while Emre Can will also stay back with an ankle issue. Juventus are just 1 point away from winning an 8th successive Italian league, but they have failed to win the Champions League since 1996. Ajax and Juventus will meet for the 9th time in the European Cup, and for the first time since November 2004, the Dutch Giants have not beaten their opponents in this competition since winning the 1973 European Cup final in Belgrade. So Ajax and Juventus facing off, and Narayan there for the final question. Ajax and Juventus, Narayan, how will you look at it? Facing each other after almost 15 years, but how does one look at the chances of either teams in this game?
Anil, as we go on the head-to-head records, the Ajax team has never beaten in the recent times to the Juventus, because last time they won against Juventus in 1973 when they won the European Cup. Okay. And in the 1996 also the final was played between these 2 clubs when the match was goalless in the regulation time, and Juventus won that. That was their last Champions Trophy win in penalty shootout.
Okay, Juventus striker Cristiano Ronaldo, he scored 7 goals in Champions League matches against Ajax. Does that make him a striker to mark, or will that injury, or will he start tonight? Juventus, do they have that firepower to check the strike of Cristiano Ronaldo and the strikers of Juventus?
Currently, the Juventus side is the most attacking side in the world. They have the most phenomenal player of the century, Cristiano Ronaldo, who is the leading goal scorer in the history of the Champions League with more than 120 goals. And apart from, they have the players like Paulo Dybala. Even they have the good midfield. In midfield, they have players like Kilani, and They have also a good defensive setup. So it's a very attacking side. So it will be difficult for the Ajax club to handle the Juventus firepower, despite they have defeated Real Madrid in the previous round. But the win against Real Madrid in the last round will definitely act as a morale booster for them. But Juventus is a side to beat in this tournament right now.
Before I let you go, Narayan, quickly, I'll take two bets from you. The first one, the first game, Manchester United versus Barcelona. Who's your favorite and what's the scoreline that you predict?
At Old Trafford, definitely they are unbeaten against Barcelona, so I would like to give a slight edge to Man U here, and it may be around 1-0 for
1-0 for Manchester United. The second game, Ajax hosting Juventus. How's the scoreline that you look at in that game?
In that game, if Ronaldo today plays, if he recovers, as their coach has said, he will play the way he took part in the training. Definitely, it's like more than 2 goals, I think, for Juventus to score at Johan Cruyff Arena in Ajax.
Okay, Narayan, I will leave it there. Thank you and appreciate your frank comments there. Also the predictions on that big game, the 2 big games in the Champions League. Thank you and appreciate your joining us this evening here on Sports News. Well, that's all we have time for, but before we say goodbye, a quick recap of the headlines. Virat Kohli named Wisden's leading cricketer of the year for the 3rd time in a row. Smriti Mandhana wins the Women's Award. Mumbai eye their 3rd straight win in IPL Season 12 in the outing against Punjab. Rohit Sharma led team trails with 3 wins, while R. Ashwin enjoys 4 wins and 3rd position in the current points table. Chennai maintained their unbeaten run at home in the Indian Premier League with an emphatic 7-wicket win over Kolkata. The win helps Dhoni-led team lead the standings with 5 wins and 10 points after 6 matches. Saina, Nehwal and PV Sindhu ease into the 2nd round of Singapore Open Badminton Tournament. In the men's side, Sai Parneet goes down fighting to world number 1 Kento Momoto. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool take a crucial first leg advantage with a 2-0 win in the Champions League quarter-final clash against Porto. Son Heung-min shines to give Tottenham Hotspur a slender first leg lead, a 1-0 win over Manchester City. And Manchester United welcome Barcelona for the first leg of the UEFA Champions League quarter-final tie at Old Trafford. Cristiano Ronaldo included in Juventus Champions League squad to face Dutch club Ajax. Well, a penalty kick turned into one of the most luckiest goals you could see in soccer when the ball hit the crossbar, flew up in the air, hit the ground near the goal line and bounced into the net. The goal was scored during a penalty shootout between the under-17 teams in a football club match that is commonly known as Chivas and Lobos Buap of Mexico. The lucky goal left the game announcers at loss of words as they exclaimed "incredible" several times. Well, that's it in this edition of Sports News. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Take care. Have a safe and wonderful evening ahead.